about, like, it's all about your actions and your consequences.
Well, that's why I said maybe it's about Steve, but maybe there could be someone else that he had like a scuffle with. Because it seems to be a play on "you made your bed, now lie in it." You shit your bed, now lie in it. Like, it's a little more aggressive.
You did all of this, so accept it. Don't cry about it and whine about it and poor me and wah, wah, wah. You did this, so just see that you did it and do something different next time. Make a different choice next time.
Yeah.
But the thing, though, like, that could be a good message, but it just felt like the music was almost too polished or too slick, and you just don't hear the lyrics. You know what I mean? The music is so shiny that you don't hear any of the interesting stuff.
I mean, if you're going to write a John Lennon-type song, what's... Aaron, you can probably pull it out of your head right now. The John Lennon song where he just rips a new one into Paul.
You can probably pull it out of your jerk hole.
Wow. I think God is probably the one I usually think of, when he's talking about God as a concept by which we measure our pain. Then he goes off to list all the things he doesn't believe in, and he ends it with Beatles.
I'm trying to think, because he's like, all your best songs were yesterday.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like to think about that stuff, because I like the Beatles best when they were, making music together. But I will admit, in spite of being sometimes and occasionally an arrogant jerkhole, I do like John Lennon. Of the solo work, I feel like Lennon's work was the best, although Paul was, certainly great as well. And George Harrison, I think, is consistently the most underestimated and underrated of all the Beatles. He was perhaps the best musician out of all of them. Maybe not the best songwriter, but fantastic musician.
You know what's funny about that? This is totally off topic, but the first music I have a conscious memory of hearing is Paul McCartney's Band on the Run. Paul McCartney and Wings.
Yeah, I love Wings.
Like, that's my first memory, like, of music, being like 3 or 4 years old and hearing Paul McCartney and Wings.
Okay, I can't remember the name of the song now, and it's gonna bug me until I figure it out. And like by next week, I'll have figured out what it is. But there's a song that John Lennon wrote about out there, where the whole song is very much a tear into Paul McCartney, and it's not very veiled. And it's interesting because if you watch the video, George Harrison is playing keys on that song. So definitely like a nice little slam there as well. But he's got like all these lines like your best songs were yesterday, and things about listening to his mother. So little slams about Let It Be and such. If this is Ed like making a statement about Steve, it's too veiled. Mm-hmm. It doesn't make any sense. The metaphor doesn't work. Versus a song like You Run Away, which he doesn't even disagree with. Like, no, I was writing about Steven at the time. I was angry about Steve.
Oh, are you talking about How Do You
Sleep? Yes,
yeah,
thank you.
Dumb. Yeah, I should have realized. Yeah, the only thing you done was yesterday. Since you're gone, you're just another day.
Yes, exactly. Like
those freaks were right when they said you was dead. Oh, John.
Oh yeah, like it's an amazing song. I love listening to it because it's some amazing writing.
Pretty
about
savage.
And
shade.
It was savage.
Throwing shade.
That was some early shade.
But yeah, I mean, if that's what Ed's doing here, it's not done well. So I just don't like that about it. My line I do like about the song though is it's different at 8 than when you get to 2. So if you're counting down and as you're getting closer to 0, like yeah, there is a difference when you're at 8 versus when you're at 2. Like there's more immediacy. It's getting more real. And I do like that line because it does have a lot of meaning to it, and you can read a lot of things into that line. All right, I've wasted my thoughts on this song.
Yeah.
So why don't we do some rating on this song, Michelle?
All right. Well, I kind of gave it away earlier. The rating system we're using tonight is montages. It's just a montage song. It's background music. Not that I should sway anyone's opinion. Somebody might love this song and really connect with it, and I do honor that. And I don't.
Well, art is subjective, and if somebody loves this song, more power to you. So for whatever reason, it just didn't connect with us.
Exactly. So I gave this song 2.5. I thought of you the whole time, Aaron. Like 2.5. It's in the middle. It's fine. I don't hate it. It doesn't send me over the edge like another postcard does. But it's not.
I would listen to another postcard 5 times before I listen to this. I know that song.
Never.
That song, it's not great, but it has character. It's quirky. It's fun. This song is just
awful.
mad.
It's awful. This isn't even awful though. This doesn't
go.
even elicit.
See, I like watching bad movies, and I like watching really good movies. I don't like watching mediocre movies. It's the same way with music.
Yeah,
this is mediocre.
This doesn't elicit a reaction, so I gave it a 2.5 because it's right in the middle. You know, it's neutral. It's 0. I don't give it a 0. I give it a 2.5. Aaron, how many montages do you give this song?
Salt Bae sprinkle in just a little more shade than you.
Ooh.
Because, again, I was thinking specifically about Bringing It Home, and I went back after listening to the song like 10 times and analyzing it. I listened to Bringing It Home, and I was like, it's like a breath of fresh air. You know what I mean? I did not like it as much as I like Bringing It Home. I gave Bringing It Home a 2.5. I like this better than children's songs, but not by that much. So I'm going to give this a 2.35 montages.
Ooh, okay. Tracy.
All right.
How about you?
See, I haven't compared it to the other songs that I scored. I don't know what I gave Bringing It Home, and I'm not really kind of looking right now.
Do you
just my...
Want me to tell you? You gave Bring It Home a 3.
Okay, good. Okay, I do like Bringing It Home better, and so that this fits in with that. And thinking of kind of where I think that this song kind of belongs, and thinking about what I feel about this song. Like if I heard this on the radio, I wouldn't switch the channel, but I wouldn't be listening to it. It would be in the background, and it would just be playing.
You don't even hear it.
No, I wouldn't be singing with it. I wouldn't search it out. It's not a bad song. It's well sung. It's well played. It's well managed, as you said, and produced, Aaron. It has, Ed said that this album has more swagger and more confidence, and he's more comfortable the most comfortable he's been since the first record. I don't get that in this song. So this, to me, 2.6.
That gives us an average of 2.48, and that's actually the last... Oh, no, I'm wrong. That brings it just above Vegetable Town and just below Best Damn Friends.
Definitely. For me, that's exactly where it belongs.
Yeah, right at the bottom of the list. So it's second to last so far.
I mean, again, look, all things being relative, this is the worst or one of the worst songs we've rated so far of an amazing band with a lot of amazing material. So, like,
of course,
this should not be, they can't all be conventioneers. They can't all be Alcohol or Alternative Girlfriend or Brian Wilson.
And we expect a lot out of them. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like
they've got so many great songs.
Bismarcky.
Even taking it, like, if you think about it this way, if I rated this just below average, even though that's slightly below average, if that's their worst. There are so many bands that are just complete train wrecks, and they're a 0 or a 1 out of the gate for like the bulk of the material. So, we love you guys. Please come on the show. We know you listen. I guess is what I'm trying to say.
Well, and just to kind of put some more perspective on this, we're based a lot off from the idea of the alphabetical. Just because I listened to alphabetical, and then I was like, I want to do a show like that based on Barenaked Ladies, and let's face it, like there were Beatles songs that were ones. There were Beatles songs that were very, very low. A band can't be perfect every single time, and I just don't think that this is their best hit.
Agreed.
And since this is the first album, the first song off this album, I'm going to attach a couple of appearances this week that are basically just interviews. A couple of them are video interviews, a couple are written interviews that they had when this album was released, talking about the album. My favorite one is that when they were talking and doing the video interview. They were talking about different cuts of beef and how filet mignon is the worst cut, but everyone buys it when they go out to the restaurant. That's an interesting analogy.
Interesting.
It's the worst part. It's the
least
part that has
flavorful.
the least amount of taste.
I wouldn't say it's the worst because it depends on what you value. Like texture-wise, it's very, very juicy and tender, and that's nice. But yeah, it's the least flavorful. I like a good skirt steak. Now I want to go up on steaks. Now.
They said it's so bad that you have to wrap it in bacon to give it moisture.
I really like.
Which I was like, that's amazing.
The way that I don't know. This again, I'm going to come off as arrogant here, but I like the mouthfeel, I guess, of filet mignon. But I prefer like a skirt steak, hanger steak, ribeye.
So this song is like the filet mignon of the album.
That might be too kind.
Okay, so it's more like the tenderloin.
I think this song is the bone full of marrow that comes with your ribeye that you pretend to like so you can seem like you have class, but it's just crappy.
It gives you heartburn.
Never been a fan of marrow. I don't know. Maybe I just got to get in touch with my barbarian roots. But crush your enemies, see them threaten before you. Hear the lamentation of their women.
So, as you know, we are part of the Filling the Void podcast network. A very proud part of that network.
Yes.
They have some amazing and wonderful podcasts on that network. One of the podcasts that has taken a hiatus but is hoping to come back in the very near future, and I hope it does as well, is Boy Meets Retrocast, which, if you have any guesses out there, you're probably right. It is a podcast where they review and talk about Boy Meets World episodes. I grew up watching Boy Meets World. I think it's a much better show than Saved by the Bell, where Zach Morris really is a jerk. Zach Morris is trash. If you have not seen that Funny or Die series, watch it because it is absolutely true, and I can never watch Saved by the Bell ever again. But Boy Meets World was actually a really high-class, pretty good show, especially for kids, and I really enjoyed it. It was interesting because they had the same thing that happened for almost every single show out there. Season 3, I think it was. They're like, we got to add someone new to the cast. So the parents had a baby. So, and for the first year, the parents had this baby, and you know what the baby does? Like, babies eat, they go to the bathroom, and then they learn to crawl. And next week, that's what we're going to be doing, is we're going to be talking about crawl.
Someone better give you a segue for Christmas.
Dead air. That was a bad one. Not my best intro.
That's okay. I was having a hard time hearing.
It matches this episode.
We're all over the place. We're barely listening to each other tonight. We're all just on a stream of consciousness.
Well, it matches the song, too. It's an okay song, so it needs an okay outro.
There we go. But at least we know the song next week, Crawl.
That's right. And hopefully next week's song is a little bit better than this week's.
We can only hope.
So thank you guys for joining us. This is the year. Last year we went 7 through C. This year we got C's through H's. We are finishing with the H's this year. We have a lot of letters to get through.
Holy moly.
Holy.
We went through 3 letters last year. We're getting through a whole bunch this year. We're getting through like 5.
6 if you count C.
We're only...
That's right. See, we're picking up. We're picking up speed.
Not even touching it, man. Not even touching it.
Not that kind of speed, Aaron. I am not getting arrested for picking up that speed. Matter of fact, now that I've made that joke, it brings the podcast to a crawl.
Yes.
Slow clap for you. Slow clap.
And I'll leave it on that.
There we go. Perfect.
See you guys. See you next time.
Have a great week.
Bye, everybody.
Thanks, that was fun. Don't forget, no regrets.